Senator Ayotte to ask her questions.
Thank you, Chairman, and I think that it does sound very glamorous. Absolutely important, especially as a state that borders Canada. I can respect that. Appreciate it. So, Administrator Janikin, in your written testimony, you spoke about the need to update our ports and surrounding infrastructure. In New Hampshire, our Portsmouth Harbor, it's a beautiful harbor if you haven't been there, needs to be dredged to accommodate the larger ships that we know are being built, and our cargo terminal is aging and in need of improvements. These updates are obviously important to the future of our port and our seacoast economy in Portsmouth and the area, surrounding towns. What more can be done at the federal level to help support our smaller local ports, which we know are of critical importance to our economy? And are there tools that MERID needs to help support our nation's smaller ports?
Senator, thank you for the question. First of all, I'm going to address the dredging portion of that. Obviously, the deepening and also the maintenance dredging for our ports actually falls under the purview and the responsibility of the Army Corps of Engineers.
Right.
So I would defer that question to them.
But you know how critical this larger ship issue is for our economy and the ability of our ports to thrive.
We certainly understand that most ports need the deepening to be able to allow access to that, but there are some other vessels that can get access to the ports, but we need to think about it more from a regional perspective. And one of the things we're doing in our National Maritime Strategy is to identify and address those needs. With regard to the investment that you referred to, we have a program at the Maritime Administration run by my Associate Administrator for Intermodal Development, which is referred to as Strong Ports. And one of the things that we do is we reach out to the small ports, and we've identified some of the weaknesses that the small ports have is, unlike large ports, they don't have large business offices or large planning departments.
Right.
So in order for them to be able to put together investment grade type of projects that you can go out and go get both public and private investment, you really need to have some funding to be able to do that. In our President's budget request for 17 for our Strong Ports program, we're actually requesting $3 million, and our goal there is to be able to get to 15 ports with about $200,000, because we recognize that's the threshold where you need to be able to do that planning and investment. And so we would reach out and make sure, similar to a competitive program, to make sure that we can help those ports to be able to do that, because we recognize that's where the real need is. With regard to the entire department, we have put together what we refer to as a Build America Transportation Investment Center. That is a one-stop shop. I've dedicated a senior executive to be the executive director of that, to make sure that ports have a place to go. And I think one of the big things, and for Senator Booker, the Port of New York, New Jersey has actually sort of now become the poster child of this project. They're putting together a $500 million program. They're the first port in the country to be eligible for TIFIA funding, and we're very encouraged in terms of the direction that they're going. But this has all happened as a result of having this BATIC organization within the department to be able to help ports be able to identify where they can and what financial strategies they can use, what grants and other loan programs that are available through the federal government as well as through the private sector, and we're helping them to do that.
Well, I appreciate it, and I'm glad to hear that you also have thought of a strategy for the smaller ports so that we can get some of that support, because you're absolutely right. We don't have the, the office support that a larger port has, although we have really good people that work there, but we could certainly use the help. Appreciate it.